Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Okay, so I believe that this right here is a first wave that has formed for STG. It's really difficult to count it, but I'm pretty sure I caught the top. That's probably a 1. I think this is a 2. I think this is a very truncated 2. A, B, C here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 finished up there already. Now the 4 is coming down, and then the 5 is going up. That's what I believe. So I think that we're playing just this particular wave right here only. And we're probably going to get a drop to the downside very soon. And I see that just based on how it is, this is 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to 5. And then the 4 down, and then there's the 5 up. This actually made a channel. If you look very closely, it definitely makes a channel here. And then it breaks to the downside like that. Something like that. Very tight. And then it forms the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 somewhere up there. So that's what I believe it is. And we're breaking down. So now this looks like it's forming a resistance like that. It's going to hammer somewhere at the 1 minute 55 EMA, and it's going to break down. And here's my position. I'm about breaking even right now with a position of $250,000. All right, we're getting some downtrend here now. I'm up $1,200. I'll probably close soon because I'm sleepy and I got an early flight. It's just trying to hammer this EMA, the 50 EMA on the 1 minute. The 5 minute MACD crosses, our side bearishly diverging across the board. This seems so reasonable. This white line acting as a support, as a target. I mean, this is a perfect, oops, sorry, I moved the screen there. This is a perfect trade in my opinion so far. And I think that this really does nail it. The way that the 55 EMA broke on the 1 minute chart. And then now it's going to probably hit the bottom end over here. Because if I took away all of the EMAs and I only showed you, say, on the 5 minute chart, it looks really clear, doesn't it? That the wave, beginning of wave 1 here, 2 and 4 could probably hit because it's hitting here, here. This looks really reasonable to me, and I just have a really difficult time believing that it won't hit it. I mean, why would it not hit it? This one here, though, the RSI on this peak, it's actually about the same as wave 1. So I'm wondering, like, is it a wave 5 perhaps? So I'm really going to ride this out and test my patience because I'm very tired right now. I've got an early flight. I'm going to Amsterdam tomorrow. So I don't want to be in this trade any longer than I have to be. I'm already up $2,000. It's probably going to be very fast. Despite the volume, do you see the volume here at $631 million? There's actually very little liquidity. Very little. Because if you look at the liquidity here, take a look. See, this is in STG. So it only goes up to like, so 1% slippage is pretty much like $50,000. So that's not a really good thing. So I'm just going to see how far it's going to go. And I'm going to take my profit very soon, I think. But not too soon. I want to try to maximize this just to see what I can do for fun. But I do believe that this right here is a very, very strong trend line. I'm going to take away the Elliot wave theory here. And I'm just going to draw this. Do you see how this is really trending to the downside? It's got momentum going down on pretty much every time frame. Even on the 30-second time frame, it's got momentum to go down. I don't think it's going to just snap up there. The 30 seconds definitely going down. It just popped up there a little bit though, so that worries me, right? Because these pops can be really big for a coin like STG. But right now, all that it's really trying to do is shatter this support. This support of 1.28 roughly. If it breaks around here, we should get a drop to the downside. But for now, it's holding pretty steady, which is kind of annoying because it's late and I'm tired. But I know the market obviously doesn't give a crap about my hours. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. But this is the very last straw, see? Do you see how it's now squeezing into this particular pattern? On the 1 minute, it doesn't look good. But if you look on the 2 minute, it actually looks great. So on the 2 minute, it's still heading its way down hard, right? So why would it not go down? So it's all about the entry, in my opinion. So if you notice, my entry was around here. I, believe it or not, I shorted it down over here, and then when it hit up there, I added more because I was confident about my count. So you're not always going to enter at exactly the top or the bottom, but as long as you're sure with your bias, you can always add more if it goes slightly up, in my opinion. I'm not talking about laddering a gigantic amount, but ladder to the point where, like, I entered right here, it went up to there, so I added more because my bias was really strong towards the bears. So I think now it's going to eventually break it. I'm looking at it on a 2 minute time frame because it just happens to be a beautiful chart on the 2 minute time frame. And then once it breaks down here, if you just evaluate where, or first of all, if it breaks down, right? Let's assume that it does break down. It's going to break down to probably somewhere in here because it's now being pressed down like this. It's trying to break that support. So if it does, this white line, the white lines are going to meet and this apex, it looks like. Is that a reasonable assumption? I would say so. So this is looking good. And by the way, guys, I've got one more slot for the Ultimate Bull Market Strategy Guide. I had a quick flash sale for 2 slots where somebody, actually 2 people, could get 50% off of the Ultimate Bull Market Strategy Guide of mine and also a lifetime Discord membership. It's normally $1,750, but it's on sale, 50% off to $875, and only 2 people will get it. So make sure you guys are looking at the description and the link below. And learning with me is a good option, I think, because, well, first of all, I've got a good track record and I'm very transparent, and my ultimate goal is to help you learn. So now we're just waiting here, seeing if it's going to break to the downside or not. Let's take a look at the EMAs now. Turning on the, say, 50 EMA on the 1 minute chart. We see that it's fighting really hard at the 50 EMA. So let's see if it's going to break to the downside or if it's actually going to find support here and get a bounce to the upside and then figure it out from there. So the question is, what am I going to do if it breaks to the upside? And my answer would be, I would hate it if it broke to the upside because then I'm going to have to reevaluate many things and go from there. If I were to draw it a little bit more reasonable, it would probably be something like this over here. So it would be something like that where there's more clearance and it's probably going to have another 17 minutes till it breaks down. All right, so now we're getting a break to the downside. I think finally it's hammering it again, and that's a really convincing candle. So what we see here is that it hovers right here at the 1 minute EMA, the 50 EMA, and then it breaks down, it gets back up slightly, it tries to stay above the 50 EMA, but only to be faced with a very bearish type of candle. This one right here, that's a very bearish candle, which with force broke to the downside. So now I would assume that the momentum would continue to the downside. And you got to ask yourself, why would it not? So I'd like to ask myself lots of hypothetical questions when trading because this gives me a gauge of the momentum. And asking questions is really important, especially, oh, wow. Look at that. So see my 3 favorite words. It's you were right. I'm now up $2,000, $3,000. Wonderful. Perfect. And yeah, I'm pretty happy so far right now. So this is looking really good in my favor, but I think it's going to find the support soon. So I'm actually just going to close my position here at 268. And I'm going to try my best to get this closed here at 268 for a $3,000 position. And let's see if there's actually a wall. So I did create a small little wall there, of course, because my position size is a little bit big. So some of my limit orders actually ended up getting filled there. Not that many though, only about 10,000. And let's see if the momentum is going to continue down and it's actually going to crush this. It's probably going to go back up and retest that, in my opinion. And then we'll see from there. So nope, they got wicks coming to the downside. This looks just like a small little correction to the upside there. If I market executed right now, it would be horrible because then I would just end up slamming the market to the upside. There's very little liquidity. So I'm going to be happy here with the $3,300 profit. Just a little bit more. And then that's it. And then I win this trade with flying colors. And then I can go to sleep. And boom, there you go. Position ended up closing for $3,300. That was great. Bam, guys. Good night.